Hey, how's it going, guys? It's DJ Face120 here, and I'm back with another week of NFL predictions. This is going to be week 5 of NFL predictions. Before the video even starts, I'd like to thank you guys. My last video got 1,600 views, which is over 1,200 more than my channel has ever got on a single video. So clap it up. Thank you so much for the support. That just means so much to me. I know it's only 1,600 views, and most channels get way more amount. But even if I got 500 views, I mean, I would have been so happy for it. We got 15 likes in the last video, so maybe we can get 20 likes in this one. Who knows? That being said, I am going to start my week predictions, so here we go.
Bust it.
Alright, so last week I did pretty decent. I'm not going to lie, I thought I did pretty good. My record is right here. So as you can see, yes, it was a pretty decent week for me this week. My predictions were pretty good, except for the first Sunday. I would have had a way better record if it wasn't for the Jaguars losing to the Jets, and then the Texans destroying the Titans. Games like that I didn't see coming. Right now, I mean, as a predictor of NFL, you just have to pull a Ron Swanson and throw your computer in the trash can. Because right now, no amount of information is getting me ready for this season. However, I'm still going to do my best to predict the NFL, so let's go to our first game. Let's start off with this Thursday night game. Got Patriots versus the Buccaneers. After picking the Patriots to blow out the Panthers, which, now that I come to think about it, every time I pick the Patriots to blow somebody out, they don't, so I'm going to stop saying that. Against the Buccaneers, came off a last-second win against the Giants. So the Buccaneers look pretty decent, although the Giants are a very struggling team. Patriots always look good, except for, maybe a little bit last week, had to let Cam Newton come in. I think this one, on Thursday night, I think the Patriots are going to beat the Buccaneers. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a better game than people think it is. So I have Patriots over the Buccaneers. Next, we got 49ers versus the Indianapolis Colts. The 49ers came off of a really good game against the Arizona Cardinals, going into overtime and losing. And the Colts came off of a game against the Seahawks on Sunday night. That was just an absolute destruction, and they could not get anything going. Brissett looked awful. The whole team looked awful in general. This game, I think the 49ers will actually beat the Colts. Now, I don't know why I'm always going against the Colts, but I think Indianapolis will lose this one. So that's my prediction. Because I have to predict every single game of the week, I'm going to have to give you a prediction with the Jets and the Browns game. Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody is going to watch this game. Quite honestly, when I saw this on the schedule, my face kind of looked like this. But nonetheless, this game, the Jets came off of a win against the Jaguars. I don't know if that's impressive or not, just because the Jaguars have been very, very shaky. It's hard to predict them because they're on and off every other week. The Browns are still looking for their first win. However, I think that Cleveland will win this game. I know it's surprising to pick Cleveland to win a game. Last time I did, they lost, but I think Cleveland has a good shot at home to beat the Jets. Next game, we got Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jaguars come off a loss against the Jets. Now, right now, like I said, it's really hard to predict the Jaguars just because of how hot and cold they seem to be. But the Pittsburgh Steelers and Le'Veon Bell came off of a really good game against the Ravens. So this game in Pittsburgh, I'm going to have to pick the Steelers beat the Jaguars because I feel like they're more consistent and that they'll have a better game at home. This game, you got two teams who still have not won a game yet. You got the Chargers at the New York Giants. The Chargers, coming off of a close loss against the Philadelphia Eagles, could not stop a running game to save their life. However, the Giants are coming off of a second straight week of a last-second field goal to lose the game, which really stinks if you're a team. It's really heartbreaking. The Giants are still having a little bit of trouble on the offensive line, and the Chargers have a very good defensive line. This game is going to be close. Yeah, both teams looking for a win. It's in New York. However, I feel like the Chargers' defensive line is good enough to get the Eli Manning, cause them to throw quicker passes and getting sacked more. So I'm going to have to give it to the Chargers solely based on their defensive line work and the offensive line for the New York Giants. Next, we got the Bills and the Bengals. See, the Bills are coming off of a great win against the Atlanta Falcons, and the Bengals are coming off of shellacking against the Cleveland Browns. So the Bills look pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie, they look pretty good. Past couple games, they've been winning, and it's actually looked really great for them. Tyrod Taylor has come in and not done so bad. On the other side, you had the Cincinnati Bengals coming off their first win Andy Dalton threw for 4 touchdowns, and their offense is ticking. Not to mention that Croft, the backup tight end for Eifert, looks pretty good to start out his season. This game, it may be a decent one, maybe a close one, but although the Bengals are at home, I'm going to have to go with the Buffalo Bills over the Bengals. Next, you got the Carolina Panthers and the Lions. So the Panthers come off of a great win against New England Patriots. Cam Newton decided to go off this game and had a really great game. So if you had him on the fantasy team, good for you. The Lions had it was a little lesser game against the Vikings team that's plagued with injuries right now. This game may be a decent game too, but I'm going to have to give it to the Carolina Panthers over the Lions in this one. Yes, I know they're in Detroit, but the Panthers may look like that their offense is connecting and that they have it all figured out as of right now. So I'm going to have to go with the Carolina Panthers. Next, we got the Titans against the Dolphins. So the Titans got destroyed by the Texans, which no one saw coming. Mariota got hurt. Hopefully he's playing this game. And then you got the Dolphins, who have Jay Cutler. And that's all I really can say about that is they have Jay Cutler, who has not been doing good. Their offense has been doing awful. So the Titans are a little bit better of a team at this point. So I'm going to say Titans over the Dolphins. Dolphins fans, again, I'm sorry, you still have Jay Cutler. Watch Jay Cutler go off for like 4 touchdown passes next game. Next, you got the Battle of the Birds, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, the Cardinals coming off of a overtime win against the 49ers. They looked pretty decent. A lot of flags in their defense, not going to lie, especially near the end of the game, against the Philadelphia Eagles, who came in and just ran the ball down the throats of the Los Angeles Chargers. So the Eagles, they were playing at home, right? And the fans are great. If you ever watched the Los Angeles game that they played last week, they seemed like they were at home, although they were in Los Angeles, a complete opposite side of the United States. So I think the Eagles have found their offensive positioning. They have Carson Wentz throwing good passes. They have Blunt running really well, Wendell running really well. And I think this game is going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles based on a better overall team. Next, we got the Baltimore Ravens against the Oakland Raiders. The Baltimore Ravens are coming off of a close loss in point-wise, but they got the ball run down their throats by Le'Veon Bell. Against the Oakland Raiders, next we got the Oakland Raiders versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Oakland Raiders just came off of a loss against the Denver Broncos. Now, again, they had a lot of offensive woes where they could not get a third down conversion. However, the biggest news comes from a fractured back from Derek Carr during that game. He's out 2 to 6 weeks, which is a huge loss. Now, the Ravens just came off of a close loss, I guess decently close loss against the Steelers, where they couldn't stop the run game. Now the Raiders may have to heavily rely on the run, but now their team is basically a one-dimensional team. So I'm going to have to say that the Baltimore Ravens will beat the Oakland Raiders. Next, you got the Seahawks versus the Rams. So, talk about the Seahawks. Their offense, still, I guess, a little bit shaky, but looked better against the Colts, although it was the Colts. Defense looking really good. 2 touchdowns for your defense is always a great game. Against the Los Angeles Rams, who have been shocking the NFL at this point, who would know that they'd be like the best offensive team in the NFL. This game is going to be a good game. However, reminder that in the past, the Rams have always had the Seahawks number for some reason. So I feel like in this game, with the better offense, that the Los Angeles Rams will beat the Seahawks. Yes, Los Angeles on top of Seattle. Next, you got the Packers at Jerry World against the Cowboys. So Aaron Rodgers has been looking amazing the past couple weeks, throwing great yardage and great touchdowns to his receivers. The Cowboys have been a little shaky, a decent game against the Cardinals, and last week losing to the Rams. Now, let me just say that the offense for the Cowboys is not looking bad at all. It's just their defense. And, oh yeah, who knew the Cowboys would have defensive problems? But they're relying heavily on their rush. But if they don't get in that rush, then the passing game for the other team is usually good. And with a person like Aaron Rodgers who can get out of the pocket and throw downfield, I feel like that will be their kryptonite. And the Green Bay Packers will beat the Cowboys in Jerry World. Next game, you got the Texans versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs came off of a great win against the Washington Redskins on a last-second field goal, which I called roll it. I think it may even go to overtime, maybe a last-second play. I think the Redskins will topple this one. I think the Chiefs will end up beating the Redskins. And they go against the Texans team, who Deshaun Watson did really, really well. I mean, I didn't expect him to do that well, although I did say that he would be a decent pickup to have. I know the final score to the Kansas City Redskins game was 30-20 on that garbage, last-second fumble. But the Chiefs did win technically on that field goal, which I called. The Chiefs have been doing really well as of recently. Kareem Hunt, again, like I said in my previous videos, MVP candidate for sure right now. We're rushing over 100 yards against the Texans team again, who comes in after a good win by Deshaun Watson. This game may be decent. However, I think that the Chiefs are just so good right now that it's going to be hard to beat them. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs over the Texans, but this will be a good one. Finally, we got our Monday night game, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Chicago Bears. Now, Minnesota came off of a close loss against the Lions, but what's even worse is that they may have lost Dalvin Cook for the remainder of the season with an ACL injury. Yes, he hurt himself in the second half of the game. The only issue now is that they also have an injured quarterback in Sam Bradford and have Case Keenum starting, which means that their offense is not going to be firing like it used to be. They're coming in against a Bears team who, if you haven't heard, I just decided to start their rookie, Trubisky, on Monday night. Now, this may be a factor in the game. You have a new quarterback who's been learning this system. As of recent, new quarterbacks come into the league have not been doing so bad. People like Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz have been doing pretty decent. So, with the injuries of the Vikings, and maybe a fresh start with a decent offense with the Bears, I think that Chicago, yes, Chicago, will win Monday night against the Vikings. And that's it for this week's predictions on the NFL. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me who you think is going to win. Tell me who you think I got wrong. All these predictions I know seem a little bit insane. Tell me if I should be a mental institution. But again, let's see if we can get 20 likes on this video. And finally, just again, thank you so much for over 1,600 views on my video last week. It means a lot that I'm supported by people I don't even know. But with that, just again, thank you so much. I can't explain how grateful I am. And I hope to see you guys in next week's predictions.